Ministry for Education have to help address understaffing among schools?
Well, that's a question in the lips of many. Plus, tonight on the cabinet, we profile a former cabinet minister, a fierce cabinet minister for that matter, popularly known then as chairman. We will be telling you who that person is. But first things first, a look at our top stories tonight.
Hammering the point in.
President Ruto tours Gachagwa's political backyard of Nyeri, dismisses the opposition as lacking in developments. Different players, same play.
Odim to negotiate a pre-2027 elections coalition pact with UDA. Inaugural transition.
Pioneer grade 10 students report to respective senior schools across the country.
Plus,
beating all odds.
A cancer survivor among top 2025 KCSE performers, despite being in and out of school for most of the high school period.
Good evening once again and welcome. My name is Mboya.
I am Muchuma Odim. Talk to us on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook and YouTube. Our sign language expert tonight is Susan Thuku.
And straight to our lead story. And we are taking you to Nyeri. President William Ruto has defended the Nyota initiative against claims that it cannot solve Kenya's unemployment problem.
The president, who presided over the launch of disbursement of Nyota Business Startup Capital to over 6,000 youths from Mount Kenya West region, said his opponents have no development record to present to Kenyans less than 2 years to the general election.
Give Us Online opens our coverage with that report tonight.
President William Ruto and his Kenya Kwanza Brigade on Monday pitched tent in Nyeri County for a second day. The president presided over the distribution of Nyota Business Capital to 6,982 young entrepreneurs drawn from Nyandarua, Murang'a, Kirinyaga and Nyeri counties. Each of the beneficiaries received 22,000 shillings via mobile money.
Hiyo ni pesa ambayo mmepatiwa na wananchi na serikali ya Kenya.
Niko na kiosk, unga tu na mchele, soda, but I'm planning hapo nje nijenge ka kibanda hapo, niongeze mali na niende makaa.
Haki ni serikali ikuletee maneno kama haya, lakini ni jukumu yako pia ujitokeze, ushikilie hii opportunity, ujiendeleze. Mifano iko mingi ya watu ambao walianza chini kama nyinyi na wameendelea.
The head of state used the platform to push back claims by Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka and his opposition allies that the Nyota initiative is a mere handout.
Unajua shida hii ya Kenya for a long time, anything that is done inafanywa na lenses ya siasa, siasa kidogo. Ndio mimi naona ndugu zangu wengine hapo wanajaribu kusema president ameenda anapatia vijana 50,000 kwa sababu anataka kuwahonga. Sasa mimi nataka niwaulize vijana wa hapa, mliulizwa mkwe wa chama fulani ndio mkuja hapa?
Even as we express our views, let us love our country, let us protect our nation, let us not harm the interest of our country.
The president also commissioned the PCA Nyamashaki Comprehensive School in Nyeri Town before inspecting the Marua interchange, where he addressed the residents, telling off the opposition figures of a contest for the influence of the Mount Kenya region.
Hapa nimejenga makanisa na nyinyi. Hapa tumejenga barabara na nyinyi. Hapa tumefanya mambo mengi pamoja na nyinyi. Ati kuna mtu anaweza kusema
atakuja kuharibu urafiki tumejenga kwa miaka 20 atiharibu kwa mwaka moja. Hiyo inawezekana?
The first in command sustaining attacks on the opposition, saying they are yet to present any tangible agenda to the country with less than 2 years to the general elections.
Si nyinyi ndio mnaamua kura ya mjumbe? Si nyinyi ndio mnaamua kura ya gavana? Si nyinyi ndio mnachagua rais? Ni kweli ama si kweli? Huku Nyeri mtu anachaguliwa kwa sababu ya sura ama kwa sababu ya kazi? Mtu anachaguliwa kwa sababu ya kabila ama kwa sababu ya kazi? Mtu anachaguliwa kwa sababu ya vitimbi ama kwa sababu ya kazi?
Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
The president also officially opened the Karatina Marigiti Modern Market before inspecting Karatina Affordable Housing Project.
President William Ruto says his administration has put down solid plans on how to create job employment opportunities for the Kenyan youth, while also slamming the opposition figures who says the Nyota Initiative Fund is too little for business. Give us Mana, Prime Edition, Nyeri County.
The president there speaking from Nyeri.
Let's now turn to education matters. The inaugural grade 10 class reported to their respective senior schools across the country for the start of the 2026 academic year. A
spot check by KBC across various schools revealed a seamless registration exercise, with most day schools recording a low turnout.
However, as some learners reported to school, some parents were still seeking spots at the various senior schools.
Nancy Okware reports.
At the Kenya High School in Nairobi County, teachers, parents and learners are up and down on the first day of reporting to grade 10. By 1 p.m., the school had already admitted 400 students against the 780 that had received admission letters.
Up to now, we still have parents coming to school. They still want to secure a vacancy at the Kenya High School. But we cannot admit all students because of the facilities.
I've spoken to a few learners, I've spoken to a few parents. They are settling in well.
Once you are done with the admission, you go and meet teachers who can guide the child on which pathway to take. So that's a very crucial stage because most schools don't do that.
At Pangani Girls in Nairobi, the process is seamless, with the school administration recording 350 students against the target of 700 by 2 p.m. on Monday.
There's a lot of planning that has gone in place to ensure that every area where we may get stuck is identified, and we work on it.
We've had a bit of challenges to do with the digital placement, but we are guiding the parents accordingly.
The challenges so far we have had is on the replacements. After the first admissions to the senior school, we have a challenge on the replacements, but eventually we got the school here.
At Trangala Girls in Siaya County, Chief Principal Susan Owino said there were 600 students expected to join the 10th grade.
We are well prepared for the CBE. Our teachers have been trained, and a majority of them were trained over December holidays, and they already know what is required of them. But even though they were trained, I want to say that we lack teachers in certain areas, and we believe that Teacher Service Commission will do something in that line.
At Nanyuki High School in Laikipia County, over 200 students were admitted on Monday, with the number expected to hit 700 by the end of the week.
Tumefurahia juu tumefanyiwa na standard ya haraka sana. Hatukukaa.
Tomorrow we still expect another number, again a good number to come at even the course of the day. By the end of the week, that's when we expect now to have reached our target.
A similar exercise is ongoing at Meru School.
The current system, the CBE, each and every student, all our people, has a chance.
So many parents are not happy because we do not have that ability of accepting everyone. The ministry gave us a 720, and from the system, already it is full.
At Moi Kabartonjo High School in Baringo North, the exercise was seamless.
Kijana yangu
Ameniambia yeye mwenyewe ya kwamba anakuja kusomea science kwa hii shule, na nilifurahia kama mzazi. Alafu ile kitu nilifurahia tena ni mtoto mwenyewe amejichagulia kitu ile anapenda kwa moyo wake.
That's who are still pending on the system, who are waiting to be approved. A few have been declined, but majority have been approved by the ministry.
However, at most day schools, the turnout was low on the first day.
We have only received 10 fully admitted, and we hope the rest will be coming as from tomorrow. It has been a trend with day schools such that the turn-up normally is low. In the past, it reached a point now whereby even at times the chief mops up the students to bring them to the day schools.
Despite the challenges surrounding placement to grade 10, a section of schools across the country received a significant number of learners on the first day, with more expected in the course of the week. Nancy Okware, reporting from Kenya High School, Nairobi.
On to politics now. The Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, will open negotiations with the ruling party, the United Democratic Alliance, UDA, with the aim of forming a pre-election coalition with President William Ruto, who will be seeking re-election.
A Central Management Committee meeting convened by party leader Oburu Ginga resolved that he commences the process of initiating structured negotiations with President Ruto's party, with the National Delegates Conference expected to ratify the decision once the process is complete.
Once again, differences within the party played out as Secretary General Edwin Sifuna and one of the deputy party leaders, Godfrey Otsotsi, missed the meeting.
John Jacob Kuria compiled this report.
The meeting convened in Kilifi brought together the top honchos of the party amid escalating tensions within its ranks over the future of the party. Though there were other resolutions from the meeting as read out by party leader Senator Oburu Odinga, which included the assessment of the party's 20-year anniversary celebrations and its performance during the November by-elections, the contentious issues that have led to sharp divisions within the party leadership were among the major resolutions. The divisions were evident as the party leader struggled to explain the absence of Secretary General Edwin Sifuna and Deputy Party Leader Godfrey Otsotsi, both opposed to supporting President Ruto's re-election bid.
Honorable Otsotsi, who is the Deputy Party Leader, is in South Africa, and he has sent his apologies for being unable to attend. He tried to travel, but he was unable to. Honorable Sifuna also sent his apologies for this meeting. He missed his flight. And so both of them have the permission of the committee to be absent.
The party announced that it has resolved to prepare for the 2027 general elections and would immediately kickstart engagement with the ruling party.
The committee meeting expressed the intention to initiate structured negotiations with different political formations, beginning with the United Democratic Alliance. To this end, we have mandated the party leader to commence this process. Concurrently, consultations with party members will proceed, culminating in the National Delegates Convention.
While dismissing the tensions in the party, terming them internal democracy, the party announced its backing of the compensation of protest victims through constitutional means, with the courts having annulled the establishment of a compensation panel by President William Ruto.
The committee resolved to propose that any compensation monies be channeled through the constitutionally and legally recognized institutions, specifically the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights.
Leaders drawn from Kakamega County, Osotsi's backyard, have backed the pre-election coalition talks between UDA and ODM, even as they rallied the region to unite for posterity.
Nataka sisi tuwe pamoja kwa serikali ya William Ruto. Kwa hivyo tutachagua wawili kutoka kwa hawa waende huko waangalie maslahi yetu katika ile negotiation ya between ODM na UDA.
Wale wanaoleta mzozo kwa ODM, kwa UDA, tuombe rais akae na wao waweze kufanya coalition mzuri, so that mahali baba alituacha pawe pazuri, hii malumbano ishe.
Dr. Oburu Odinga, my party leader, katika ile kamati ya negotiation na UDA, lazima sisi Kakamega tukue kwa hiyo.
John Jacob Kuria, Prime Edition.
A cancer survivor has emerged as one of the top performers in the 2025 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education exams.
Vincent Gakuhi, formerly of Alliance High School, scored an A grade of 82 points despite having been in and out of the hospital for the entire 4 years in his high school.
Here is his story of courage, resilience, and strength in the face of a cancer diagnosis.
As families and friends continue to celebrate exemplary performance of their children who sat for the 2025 KCSE exams, KBC team caught up with a family from Ruai in Nairobi County, where Vincent Gakuhi, who sat KCSE last year, scored a mean grade of A despite battling cancer since 2021.
After we were diagnosed with the cancer, the doctor told us he cannot join Form 1 at that time because the treatment would take long time.
Lucy Gadhoni, Vincent Gakuhi's mother, says her son's diagnosis of maxillofacial sarcoma completely changed the trajectory of his life. She says the treatment journey took a toll on Vincent's health and education.
By the time we were finishing the 4 cycles of chemotherapy, we were told he had to undergo 4 more cycles of chemotherapy. And by then, his condition had really deteriorated.
Prior to sitting the 2025 KCSE examination, Lucy reveals the reluctance from Vincent to sit for the examination, a situation that Vincent clearly admits.
I tried to ask him, why now? Why are you giving up at the last minute? See the journey we have walked together. The school has been supporting you very much. Me as your mother and your siblings, we have been supporting you very much.
The day before KCSE started, for a moment I saw that there's no way that I'm going to complete this exam. There's no way that, and if I do it actually, there's no way that I'm going to succeed in it. So I didn't want to speak to anybody because I was completely down, and I said, okay, whatever comes, it comes. I'm not doing the exam for myself. Let me just do it for them.
Cancer is a painful journey to go through, as Vincent recounts.
I used to bleed a lot in the middle of the exam, for example, in the English paper. I really bled, even I'm sure the paper has blood in it. And I don't know how I've gotten these marks because I myself, I know that I blundered because there are some papers that I didn't even finish. I left some questions blank because, not that I didn't know the answer, but because I was in too much pain.
His KCSE results were a welcome surprise, considering Vincent had been in and out of hospital the entire 4 years he was schooling at Alliance High School.
The devil was trying kuzima ile nyota yetu. But who is God? Now we are shining. We are celebrating.
He's hard working, and we really thank God that God gave him the grade despite so many challenges of life.
I pray that God may open doors for him and may he always stick to God, because God has good plans for us.
Despite the challenges, he is optimistic of the future and now aspires to study medicine and become an oncologist, hoping to help others battling cancer. Opito Chemtai for Prime Edition.
Well, at 18 minutes past the top of the hour, we now know what a positive mindset can do to overcome insurmountable challenges. Well done. That was good, I think.
Coming up after the break, Kuppet elections and the drama behind it.
All that coming up. You stay with us.
Imagine 24/7 monitoring system voltage and frequency to ensure it's no more, no less. Welcome to National Control Center. This is where we control the country's power generation. These screens enable us to see the entire network, the generation, and the demand. They also enable us to achieve the balance. Everything has to be at the right frequency and the right voltage within the right margins. Otherwise, we'll have poor customer power supply quality or even power system collapse. From Olkaria Geothermal, Seven Forks Hydros, and other generation sites, you have to generate power, transmit it, deliver it to the substation, all the way to the transformer, and finally to you. My name is Engineer Teacher Pamoja Doanga.
I know. I was wrong.
Why are you coming back?
To see you. I miss you. We're not at your place, and no one's here to arrest me. So it must be important.
He's told me he's moved on, but I can feel it's still affecting him up to now.
But no one's made trouble lately. What's going on?
He didn't say, though he didn't look happy.
Welcome back to Prime Edition. What are your thoughts on some of the stories that we're covering for you? Speak to us on our social media platforms.
At KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Onto a story we highlighted for you before we took a break, Tom.
Well, that's all right. The election of officials for the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET, in Homa Bay County, has been dismissed after violence erupted at Mboya University, forcing the exercise to be aborted.
The melee began when a group of unknown people forcefully entered the polling area, confiscated ballot boxes before setting them ablaze.
KUPPET Executive Secretary Homa Bay Chapter Stephen Yogo attributed the chaos to certain candidates within the union.
Monday afternoon at Mboya University in Homa Bay County. Chaos and drama were witnessed at the KUPPET election of officials. Unknown people allegedly seized control of the polling venue, confiscating ballot boxes and papers before setting them ablaze within the university premises.
We witnessed so many teachers coming back to the line and voting. We realized that they were using some material in erasing the indelible ink and coming back to the line.
As chaos intensified, teachers waiting to cast their votes were compelled to flee, leaving the once crowded university empty. Consequently, the election concluded without any results being declared.
When we raise a complaint, we see that one brought a lot of mayhem, and the election had to stop. And that is why the election could not take place.
KUPPET Executive Secretary Homa Bay Chapter Stephen Yogo attributes the chaos to certain candidates who allegedly hired the attackers.
They brought goons in the university, something that was against the electoral laws.
According to Yogo, the union is now awaiting the outcome of investigations from Monday's incidents and a decision from KUPPET's National Executive Board to determine the next steps.
We have invested so much in this election, and we want the union to be strong. We want the union to be strong, and it can only be strong when members participate democratically to elect their leaders.
On to other developments. Residents of Old Racecourse Estates in Kariokor, Starehe constituency, Nairobi, held a peaceful demonstration on Monday against what they term an illegal takeover of a public access road which has served the community for decades.
That's right. The residents are urging government to take action against private developers for allegedly blocking the road which connects homes, schools, businesses, and a hospital.
Here is that report.
4 days after Sarah Essendi, a survivor of the 1998 Nairobi bomb blast incident, raised alarm over an alleged scheme to grab a 1-acre piece of land in Kariokor area. Residents, business owners and parents held peaceful protests on Monday, demanding for a stop to closure of the road passing through the land. According to Sarah, the existence of the road on the land is a huge stumbling block to ongoing learning activities at Sir Faith Education Center, an institution which she says she started to support children from vulnerable communities and persons with disabilities.
Nikaona njia ekuwe pale. Wapita njia wapite tupa pale na raha yao na amani yao. Na watoto wakuwe kwa madarasa na raha yao na haki yao. Sasa hii mwendo mnaenda inamwelekea nini?
However, protesters faulted the closure of the road, terming it illegal grabbing of public access road linking Kariokor area to Eastleigh.
Kama wakichukua hii barabara, hiyo ni kusema ya kwamba sisi watu wale wanaishi area hii tumekufa. Na badala ya kutuua tukio tunaona tunapigania kuachiliwa hii barabara. Hivyo ndio tunataka.
The demonstrators lamented that the road has for years served as a lifeline connecting schools, homes, businesses and a nearby hospital.
Tambue hii ambayo tunakaa sahi hapo in between Racecourse and Starehe Boys ni barabara ama ni kuwake.
We don't want anything. What we pleading and what we insisting that we want our road back. We want our road back.
It took the intervention of local administrators led by Starehe Central Assistant Commissioner Linus B to calm the protesters while acknowledging the road exists on official maps and should be left accessible to the residents.
But vile wakaji wamesema ombi lao imekuwa noted na bwana DCC ya kwamba wanaomba mama atafutiwe alternative place.
Hii barabara mtu asifunge tena. Tumeelewana wananchi? Tumeelewana. Yes, na mtu asitumie, mtu akifunga sheria tuko na serikali iko. Yes. Tusikae kama hakuna sheria kwa hii eneo. Sawa sawa? Sawa sawa. Yeah, tuheshimiane. Na pia nimesikia mmetaja shule na hapa ni kulingana hakuna shule imerejestiwa, hakuna shule kama ina exist.
Joseph Wahungu for Prime Edition.
Into the scales of justice now, 2 police officers linked to the fatal shooting of a civilian near Villa Police Station here in Nairobi will remain in custody as investigations continue.
The prosecution through IPOA sought their detention to allow forensic analysis and recording of witness statements.
Our court reporter has more on the details.
The prosecution through the Independent Policing Oversight Authority applied for pretrial detention for the respondents, Sergeant Godwin Mujomba and Patrick Mutunga Titus, for 21 days at Capitol Hill Police Station to facilitate investigations into the fatal shooting of Shukur Aden Ibrahim Isaac on January 11th, 2026. IPOA told the court that the deceased and 2 companions have been involved in a minor traffic accident and were walking back toward the scene when they were stopped by the respondents, ordered to lie down, and the deceased was allegedly shot in the head. The respondents told the court that they had no intention of interfering with the probe and will cooperate fully with the investigators.
That we police officers and we don't have any intention of interfering in any matter. We are cooperating with the court, the investigators, and that's why I see no reason to take for 21 days.
Presiding Magistrate Caroline Mugo ordered the respondents remain remanded at Capitol Hill Police Station for 14 days to allow investigators complete their inquiries, with the matter mentioned on January 26, 2026 for further directions.
The likelihood of interference with the witnesses and investigations cannot be said to be far-fetched. I therefore believe the application by the prosecution to have the respondents detained is reasonable to enable the completion of the investigation.
And more than 20 Congolese doctors who have lived and worked in Kenya for over a decade have moved to the High Court to challenge a decision by the Ministry of Health and the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council that has suspended the renewal of license and work permits, effectively locking them out of medical practice. The dispute follows a January 7, 2026 directive by the Health Cabinet Secretary halting the issuance of letters of no objection, a key requirement for license renewal. Addressing the media outside the court after filing the case, doctors say that the decision was made without notice or consultation, violates East African Community obligation following the DRC admission in 2022 that has disrupted patient care, with some hospitals allegedly denied approval to retain them.
We are calling again to the government of Kenya, even the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo, to come together to create a zone where they can agree, they can sit together and see what is the problem, so that our people can live together. We are one family.
They are now seeking court orders to overturn the directive, compel license and work permits renewals, and stop what they term arbitrary administrative actions, warning that impasse could worsen staff shortage in the healthcare sector.
Seeking to quash the decision of the minister, seeking for interim orders to allow them access the portal and get their annual practice certificates to go to that area.
Letua Deborah for Prime Edition.
The corridors of justice, let's now take you to Mombasa on a waste management concern. The Mombasa County government has expressed its commitment in making the port city one of the cleanest in Africa.
That's right, boosted by the African report that Mombasa ranks among Africa's cleanest and most attractive cities. The county government says it is actively revising its waste management policy to align it with the global trends.
Ann Buru compiled this report.
Manyimbo Transit Dump Site in Chuda, Mvita constituency, is the latest dump site to be shut down. The shutdown is a sigh of relief from those living around the dump site, including BZB School. They remain optimistic that the shutdown is not temporary, as has always been the case, with the area MCA promising to ensure that it remains permanently shut.
I've gone to check, to confirm, to verify that they have closed the place, and I've realized that there is no dumping going on. So I believe that this time round they have closed the dump site, because it has been a perpetual problem for quite a number of years. I think 2 to 2.5 years.
Nahakikishia wakazi wa Kiziwi na hii shule hapa kwa hii dump site haitofunguliwa tena, na ikifunguliwa tutapambana na maandamano ama kuchukua hizi taka tumpelekee ofisi ya environment ama kwa ofisi ya gavana.
The Department of Environment and Solid Waste Management Chief Officer Hamid Shehan attributed the ongoing shutdown of transit dump sites to the material recovery facility established at their yard.
Within a span of, I believe, 8 months, if I'm not mistaken, we shut down the one at Liwatoni, BOC. We shut down the one at Kaluwax, Kingorani, and now this is another big win where we've shut down the one at Manyimbo. And credit where it's due, the material recovery facility at the yard here is the one that has actually helped us in a big way shut down these collection points and divert all that waste into material recovery facilities.
He noted that the facility has brought tremendous change in the garbage collection across the island of Mombasa, which is visibly seen by the residents.
Sasa ukiangalia hata markiti ukienda, zamani ilikuwa kuna takataka lakini siku hizi huoni taka. Kuna malalamishi mengine lakini sio ya taka. Na kweli watu watasema kwamba bado hamjafikia kile kiwango tunachotaka. Na mimi naamini mabadiliko ya kudumu hayafanyiki kwa uharaka, yanafanyika polepole, ndo mabadiliko yanakuwa ni bora na ya kudumu.
Shehan reiterated that keeping Mombasa clean should be a collective initiative between the residents and the county.
Ahadi yangu kwa wana Mombasa ni kwamba sitochoka nitajikaza zaidi, nitatia bidii zaidi kusafisha mji, kuweza kuwahamasisha wakazi wa Mombasa wenzangu kwamba taka ni jukumu letu, sio la serikali ama sio la wananchi peke yake. Kwa hivyo tushikane mikono, tufanye usafi, maana tukidumisha usafi, tukisimamisha usafi wa kudumu, utalii utarudi, biashara zitanawiri, na afya yetu sisi, watoto wetu, wazazi wetu pia itadumu.
Since they have managed to contain the stench emanating from the material recovery facility, Shehan disclosed that NEMA now wants other counties to benchmark with Mombasa County.
Let's now take a look at our counter-up. Migori County is witnessing a quiet academic revival as formerly struggling secondary schools post strong gains in the latest KCSE results.
Dede Girls Secondary School in Awendo recorded a mean score of 9.05, up from 7.0 last year, while Moinyatike Boys also registered improved performance after years of decline.
The improvement reflects renewed discipline, stronger teaching structures, and committed leadership that has rebuilt confidence among learners, teachers, and parents.
Over the past years, like 4 years, the school has really improved in terms of discipline. That can be one of the attributes that we can actually say has really helped us. We have had the teachers whom we have worked with together. There has been what we call a teamwork.
Once dismissed institutions are steadily reclaiming their academic standing, with education officials saying the results point to a wider resurgence of excellence across Migori County.
Sikufurahia sana wakati matokeo yalikuwa duni. Hata sikuwa nafurahia kuambia wenzangu kwamba ninatoka Dede Girls. Na kila wakati wa kuwateua wanafunzi kila mwaka kidato cha kwanza, kama miaka zilizopita 4 hivi karibu, nilikuwa na epa kuwa hapo, kwa sababu kila wakati wazazi wangetuuliza kwani mmepata ngapi, mngepata ngapi, na ningekuwa na babaika tu, si wajibu. Lakini sasa hivi nimepata nguvu ya ajabu ya kuwajibu kwamba alama zetu ni hizi.
Welcome to Communication Workers Union.
Meanwhile, the Workers' Commission has raised concerns over the government's alleged plan to sell part of its stake in Safaricom. Speaking during a press briefing, the Workers' Commission questioned reports that the government intends to reduce its shareholding in Safaricom to 20%, warning that the move could undermine workers' interest and public ownership of a strategic national asset.
Whereas we don't have any opposition to the government preparing to reduce its stake in the Safaricom by 20%, we, the Communication Workers Union, must state our position that the shift from majority to control of Vodacom Group must not occur at the expense of Kenyan workers' constitutional rights.
Additionally, the union questioned how proceeds from the seller will be used, urging the government to ensure that any funds raised directly benefits Kenyans through development projects and social services. Noel Ongeso for Prime Edition.
Let's now take you to the cabinet. Tonight, we profile a former cabinet minister whose political career spanned the Jomo Kenyatta and Daniel Moi's administrations.
A fierce parliamentarian, a loyalist of the Moi regime, and a central figure in some of Kenya's most defining political moments.
This is the life of Elijah Wasike Mwangale, popularly known then as
Chairman.
Elijah Wasike Mwangale was born in Matele in what was then Bungoma District, 1938. His father was a church elder who valued education and discipline. He began his education at Chesamisi Primary School. At intermediate level, dissatisfied with the school, Mwangale briefly crossed into Uganda to continue his studies before returning home. He was later enrolled in a school in Mombasa, where he developed an interest in agriculture. That interest led him to Egerton College near Nakuru, where he pursued a diploma in agriculture. Mongale was among 3 students who received sponsorship to pursue degree studies at Virginia University in the U.S., on condition they would return to teach at Egerton. While in the U.S., Mongale obtained both bachelor's and master's degrees. On returning to Kenya, he taught at Egerton College, later entered politics. Mongale rose to national prominence as the Member of Parliament for Bungoma East during Jomo Kenyatta's presidency. In Parliament, he was outspoken and frequently critical of government, often clashing with then Vice President Daniel Arap Moi. His political trajectory changed following the assassination of Josiah Mwangi Kariuki, popularly known as JM, whose body was found on Lingong Hills on 2nd March 1975. Parliament appointed an 11-member committee to investigate the killing. Mongale was named committee chair. The committee's report recommended that 2 senior state officials be investigated by police. When the committee was summoned to State House, 1 member remained behind with an original copy of the report. In Parliament, Mongale raised concerns that the report tabled differed from the committee's findings. Speaker Fred Mati ruled that the matter could be addressed during debate. However, amid fears of detention without trial, the debate never occurred. During voting, Vice President Moi, Attorney General Charles Jonjo and their allies urged members to note and not adopt the report. Despite this, Cabinet Minister Masinde Muliro and his assistant Peter Kibiso voted against the government. Both were dismissed the same day. Mongale moved the motion to adopt the report. From this episode, the nickname chairman became permanently associated with him. Following the 1979 general election, the first under Moi's presidency, Mongale was appointed Minister for Labour. He later served in the ministries of Tourism and Wildlife, Foreign Affairs and Agriculture. He emerged as the most influential cabinet minister from Luhyaland after Moses Mudavadi and became a leading figure among the so-called Kanu hoax. After publicly discrediting the 1988 Mlolongo elections, Mongale was transferred to the Ministry of Agriculture, while Roberto Oka took over Foreign Affairs. The introduction of multi-party politics in 1992 marked the end of his political dominance. He lost the Bungoma East seat to Mukisa Kitui by a landslide. An attempt to revive his career through appointment as chairman of the Kenya Bureau of Standards was unsuccessful. Mongale died in 2004, aged 66. Jackie Wambiru, The Cabinet.
Umepanga kuniangamiza kabisa?
Hiyo familia unachukia ni familia yangu.
Nimekuja na kakitu tusherekee.
Doc amesema ukimaliza uende usign contract yako.
Wewe. Hiyo kitu ambacho ulikuwa umechimba potoa. Usinipime wazimu wangu.
Kila kitu anatutakia kitamrudia.
Really, I have so many patients. Just go straight to the point. What did I tell you?
Sorry, Doc.
Wedi.
Wewe sema kitu imekuleta hapa.
Kitu iko sawa. Karibu sana, karibu kiete kiserikali, unajua haishindi na jambo lolote.
Mamba alionekana usiku wa kuamkia leo.
Nitagundu wakita.
Welcome to Prime Edition, and we're now getting to business news, Tom.
All right, rice farmers at the Karaba section of the Mboya irrigation scheme are now recording increased rice production following improved and steady water supply.
The boost in output follows the lining of irrigation canals, improving water efficiency and expanding the acreage of land under irrigation, leading to higher annual rice production.
Kenya currently produces about 304,000 metric tons of rice annually against a national demand of approximately 1.3 million metric tons. Consistent water supply has limited production to a single cropping season each year. However, following the completion of Thiba Dam, water availability has since increased, easing irrigation challenges. Higher water volumes have increased cropping seasons from 1 to 3 annually.
Canal Raining iko na faida kubwa sana kwa sababu maji yanatembea haraka, hakuna seepage na hakuna maji inazuiwa na magugu.
Farmers say the expansion of the Mboya irrigation scheme has improved livelihoods, created employment opportunities, and strengthened household incomes across the region. They add that increased rice production will play a key role in enhancing national food security and reducing Kenya's reliance on imported rice.
Ikikunja na wingi, hii mchere kutoka nje itakuwa inatoka nje, tutakuwa tunatumia hii sababu maji ni mengi.
The project, managed by the State Department for Irrigation through the National Irrigation Authority, has also put in place measures to ensure equitable distribution of water among farmers, especially during dry seasons.
Tangu Kanaro ikorogwe na Chinese inafanya mzuri njuu maji inakunja kwa haraka sana. Kama ni Mbondi ikitufungulia maji inaharakisha, inaweza fungua leo na ifike leo. Hapo naona National Irrigation Board hapo wamefikiria mzuri, wamefikiria mkulima wa Mboya.
Ndutamo Kami for Prime Edition.
Kenya has trained over 950 marine fishermen in deep-sea fishing techniques and best practices to harness the country's marine potential.
Kenya's Fisheries Services Acting Director in charge of Capture Fisheries, Jared Agano, says that Kenya's marine fishing potential stands at 300,000 metric tons, but only 50,000 metric tons is tapped.
In Kenya is mostly sourced from inland water bodies such as Lake Victoria, which produces about 170,000 metric tons. The Kenya Fisheries Service says Lake Victoria has, however, reached its maximum tonnage. Kenya is now exploring the Indian Ocean, which is believed to be underutilized for fish supply. To achieve this, marine fisherfolk are being skilled on fishing activities and equipped with deep-sea fishing boats and equipment.
Shimoni fishing port is just it's been completed, and again, for the processing facilities, we are encouraging the local investors also, people to come up and put up more so that when we harvest, we have a place to process them, add value. By doing that, we'll be creating jobs.
Kenya's fisheries subsector faces challenges including overfishing, the impact of climate change, as well as illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, which could be addressed through partnerships with jurisdictions that have faced similar challenges.
The Japanese experience, good practice, as well as the bad experience, will be referred to in when you are going into the sea or the fresh water or whatever to explore and make a good use of the natural resources.
In our midterm plan, we aim at achieving consumption per capita of about 8 kilograms per person per year. That would require that we increase production sustainably to about 525,000 metric tons a year.
During a public lecture and roundtable on blue economy and fisheries organized by the Embassy of Japan, speakers highlighted the need to integrate data analytics to tailor fisheries needs into the Kenyan economy.
Some of the fisheries are just taking fish for their own use at the family. Then it is not recorded because it is not sold. So it's very difficult to do it, but maybe step by step, maybe focusing on one village and doing a good practice, and then other villages will imitate.
Alan Auko, Prime Edition.
At the Mombasa port.
At the Mombasa port of Mombasa this month, bringing a total of 1,055 tourists.
Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano, who received the vessel, says the increasing number of cruise ship calls on Kenya reflects a growing confidence among international travelers in the country.
During their 2-day stay here in Kenya, the tourists will visit the Masai Mara, Amboseli and Savo East, alongside city tours and excursions.
Here is that report.
MV Azamara journey sailed to the port of Mombasa on Monday from Zanzibar, marking a maiden voyage to the East African coast by the luxury liner. The cruise ship arrives about a week after MV Crystal Symphony called the port of Mombasa, bringing in 1,000 tourists. MV Azamara journey is expected to make 4 visits this year, bringing in tourists to explore attractions in the country.
It is a very good start for the year 2026. Just last week, another ship docked here and we received a lot of visitors. And now today, we also understand tomorrow and even in the months to come, because we know that cruise tourism is also about huge numbers. Just one vessel is able to deliver 600, 900, some more than 1,000.
Cruise ship tourism is a strategic growth area under Kenya's broader tourism recovery and expansion plan as the country seeks to diversify visitor experiences beyond traditional wildlife safaris and beach holidays. Kenya targets to grow international tourist arrivals to 5.5 million by 2027 to 2028 period, with tourism earnings expected to rise from 452 billion shillings to 1 trillion shillings.
We are also diversifying because the modern travelers are also looking for culture, adventure, sports, technology, and we are glad that Kenya is very well endowed with all those.
Two operators have expressed optimism that cruise tourism and improved international connectivity are strengthening Mombasa's position as a key tourism gateway, even as the government intensifies efforts to position Kenya as an all-year-round destination. Miano says Kenya has recorded a 140% surge in cruise tourism, which has boosted the overall visitor numbers.
We are on an upward trajectory. We know that we require more investments, especially in hotels, with the numbers we are seeing and the targets, and we shall be prioritizing attracting investments.
Trevor Ngendo for Prime Edition.
We are taking another commercial break. When we return, who is on standby with the sports today?
Marakwet is on Studio B, very ready to give us the latest in the world of sports.
Stay with us.
Guess how long line zetu za stima ziko?
Bright moments. Moments that inspire, enlighten,
sasa inawacha nikaona kuna kipara inasai
and give hope, joy and clarity. We move forward together, shining and with purpose. For years, we have been your trusted partners that have kept the path illuminated into a bright shared future. Empowering education, information, and entertainment, bringing light to homes, schools, shops, and hospitals in urban centers and villages. Our aim is to do everything possible to keep dreams alive through dedication and power. Kenya Power.
Pamoja twang'aa.
Take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. World Cross Country Championship is set to return home between The team will arrive in 3 different batches, with the first batch touching down tomorrow at 9 p.m, while the remaining 2 groups will jet in early Wednesday. Athletics Kenya has hailed the team's performance, reiterating its commitment to channeling more resources towards the youth development programs ahead of the 2028 LA Olympic Games. Kenya retained the overall title in the World Cross Country Championship held last Saturday in the USA, amassing 9 medals, 3 gold, 4 silver and 2 bronze. Meanwhile, the National Olympic Committee of Kenya will embark on early preparation for Team Kenya for the 4th Youth Olympics in Dakar, Senegal this year. The Multi-Sport Championship, which will be held in Africa for the first time, will be hosted in Dakar between 31st October and 13th November this year.
Primary, secondary, and then the universities eventually, is what we need to do to centralize and cement, so that we don't have to have problems where we have issues with camps during the holidays. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. If we don't do it consistently, then it's a cause for concern.
Moving on, the Magical Kenya Mountain and Trail Series race was launched today in Nairobi, setting the stage for its return to Nandi County later this week. Organized by the Kenya Tourism Board in partnership with Athletics Kenya and the Kenya Wildlife Service, the series forms part of the Magical Kenya Adventure brand, which aims to attract thousands of adventure tourists to the country over the coming years.
The 3-day event, headlined by the Taptengele Cultural Festival and the 5th edition of the Tinderet Bargentuni Mountain Run, is expected to spotlight Kenya's adventure, tourism potential and the rich culture of the Kalenjin community. Kenya Tourism Board CEO June Chepkemei said the series provides a platform to market Kenya's diverse landscapes while creating direct economic benefits for local communities.
We are left with ensuring that everybody in the tourism value chain looks good by marketing, by positioning, and by packaging those products for a good experience.
The event will begin on January 15th with mountain trail activities featuring bike and off-road vehicles across the Tinderet terrain, cutting through the tea plantations, valleys and farmlands in Nandi and Uasin Gishu counties. January 16 will be marked by the Taptengele Cultural Festival, showcasing traditional Kalenjin food, farming practices, music and cultural heritage. The series will culminate on January 17 with the Tinderet Barngetuni Mountain Run, which doubles as the national champion.
For now, I have prepared good, and we have a lot of elite athletes there, those who have experience in mountain.
We are going to do from 14 kilometers to, we have upgrade now to 21 kilometers, so that we can have more practice and more talent for international competition.
More than 3,000 runners and over 10,000 spectators are expected to take part in the event that plays a key role in promoting sports, tourism, and environmental conservation. The Barngetuni Mountain Run is also a recognized selection race for Kenya's national team to the World Mountain and Trail Running Championships. It's all systems go ahead of the 5th edition of the Barngetuni Mountain Run, and athletes have promised to give their best to register a stellar performance. For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Thank you, Daniel Mondo, for that report. Moving on, the national under-17 girls national team, the Junior Starlets, have learned their route to the 2026 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup following the official draw conducted over the weekend in Rabat, Morocco. The Junior Starlets will kick off their campaign in the first round against Namibia in a 2-legged tie. The first leg is scheduled for 10th to 12th April and the return leg set for 17th to 19th of April. If Kenya advances, they will face the winner between Zimbabwe and Uganda in the second round in May. The third and final round will see the winner of the Zimbabwe or Uganda versus Namibia or Kenya face the winner from the matchup involving Botswana or Tanzania against the Central African Republic of South Africa, with a place at the World Cup at stake. And finally, Manchester United crashed out of the FA Cup after a 2-1 home defeat to Brighton at Old Trafford, compounding their poor run of form. Interim boss Darren Fletcher could only look as United's last realistic chance of silverware this season slipped away, further denting his hopes of being handed the role until the end of the campaign. The Red Devils have now managed just one win in their last 7 matches and face a daunting test next, with title contenders Manchester City and Arsenal lined up as their next 2 opponents. The club is expected to announce a caretaker manager within the next 48 hours, with Ole Gunnar and Michael Carrick emerging as the leading candidates to replace the sacked Ruben Amorim until the end of the season. Elsewhere, Premier League leaders Arsenal thrashed Portsmouth 4-1, while West Ham edged past Queen's Park Rangers 2-1.
Brilliant finish by Danny Welbeck. Wonderful goal. Back to Lacey, getting body between man and ball. It's a free kick. He's just had a yellow card, Clive.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, the young man is going to get sent
off. He's going to be sent off.
The same what for is for throwing the ball away.
Oh, it's devastating for the young man.
That is.
It really is. Oh, he can't believe it. Helping it on its way to Danny Welbeck, who gets around.
And those were all the sports stories we had for you right here on KBC Prime Edition. My name is Karen Kibet. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place with more sports news. But for now, I do hand you back to my senior colleagues, Mboya and Muchuma Odim.
It is exactly 10 p.m.
Time for us to pack and go, but we still have tomorrow. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your feedback on our social media platforms. I'm trying to go through them. Mixed reactions, especially on the transition to grade 10 story, and also on the political bit. We do appreciate your feedback and company. I am Muchuma Odim, sign language expert tonight. It's Susan Toku.
No, here's the thing. We'll be back again tomorrow at the same time, same station. So see you then. My name is Mboya, and enjoy the rest of your viewing. Good night.
Imekamilika. 2026 tunaingia na matarajio mema ya kumiliki shamba, nyumba, magari na zawadi zingine nyingi kupitia usaidizi na kucheza kwako. Familia yote ya Tushinde tunawatakia kila laheri, na mwaka huu uwe mwaka wako wa baraka, bahati, afya njema na mafanikio. Happy New Year.
it is that time where we get to give you some entertainment dose. How are you doing?
Wagwan, welcome to the biggest, the baddest entertainment show right here in the 254. Miss V. No, no, I say Maliza holiday. You're back in the city.
Yeah, back on the grind.
How do you feel, Miss V?
I feel really energized and ready to just take on the year. I have a feeling this is going to be a good year.
Absolutely. January 2026.
Lakini January meka.
Ama tumeanza first week, man. Come on.
Ni pesa iko mfukoni, no wonder. But anyway, yes, it is really, really nice to have you guys here for this particular show. This time round, we have things happening and we are ready to just let you know everything that has been happening matters entertainment. My name is Vivian Dago. You can simply just call me Miss V.
Jock Mula, Party Daddy. You can call me Papi.
And you know what?